Hello, hello. Happy Tuesday morning. Hope you are doing fantastic. I am so excited this morning. I'm going to have a dear friend on. Her name's Carla Italiano. I've met her through my health and wellness company, and she's going to share with you really the power of residual income. She has a really powerful story around this, and I can't wait for you guys to hear it. Bring her in. Get my camera wiggling a little bit. There we go. All right. Adding. So as you, there we go.
There we go.
Hi.
Hi. Hello.
How are you?
How are you? Great. How are you?
Doing
Doing
great.
great.
So there is an
There is an
echo.
echo. Okay.
Sorry.
Sorry. I need to get the corded one.
Okay, can you hear me? Say something again. See if I can hear you.
I hear. Oh.
Okay, that was a little in and out. Let's try it again.
It's just the internet's choppy. Okay. Can you hear me now?
There you go. I can hear you.
Okay.
Whoa. I do a live every Wednesday with my friend Liz, and this always happens, like every time.
Okay.
We're like, okay, echo, not echo, let's get this figured out.
Got it.
So it's
Great.
all good. Okay, thank you so much for hopping on with me here, Carla. I'm so excited to talk with you again. I was just telling the people that are watching, we met just a couple weeks ago. Actually, the first time we met was in August. I don't know if you remember that. At Celebration, we did meet briefly at the Crystal Executive Whiteout Party.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But yeah, the first time I heard your story was back in September of last year at the IC University. And so I was just blown away by your story. And I was in tears, as was the rest of the audience, just because, like I said, you have such a powerful story around residual income and why it's so important. So, all right, to start out with, why don't you tell us just like a little bit about yourself and what your profession was before you started what you're doing now.
Yeah, absolutely. And oh my gosh, Michelle, I'm so glad that we got the chance to reconnect as it would be this past weekend. And you were just an absolute rock star. It's so inspiring getting to know you, and just the way that you show up is exceptional. So I feel honored to have this chance to be on live with you. And I'm so glad that we can take this journey together. But absolutely. So before I started this journey into residual income and network marketing and entrepreneurship, I was an engineer. I went to school, had my bachelor's and my master's degrees in engineering. I had an internship that turned into a full-time job. It was great. I mean, from the outside, it was very good. I mean, I enjoyed it. There was definitely some perks. I worked with amazing people. I got international travel, got paid well, had great mentors, friendships there, great visibility. But, the things that frustrated me, especially was, I'm a high achiever. I like to go for the top, but I would look at the people who were achieving in the corporate world, and they were having less and less time to enjoy their families. And so, in fact, I saw people being asked to do more and more by the company, but honoring promises that they'd made to their families and being demoted for it. And so I knew long term that wasn't an environment that I wanted to, because it didn't align with my values. I'm a high achieving person. I want to go and advance and grow myself, but I also want to have the freedom to enjoy my life as I liked it. And so I left the professional world, and I started with my first company. I'm now only in the one that we're in now is my second. The first company that was in this profession of network marketing and direct sales, and I love the opportunity. It didn't turn out financially like I wanted to, but I was married. We're living off my husband's salary, and it was okay. So I kind of let that business go. And then I was a stay-at-home mom immediately before jumping into this business that we do together now.
Okay, awesome. So yeah, so you were an engineer, you loved it, but you saw that it was just taking away from your family and the future you really wanted to have and the time with them. And I know we've talked about this before, like your girls are just everything to you. You love them so much. You have 3 girls, right?
Yeah, so I have 3 girls. They're now 10 years old, and I have 8-year-old twins.
Yeah, that's incredible. So awesome. So you tried a network marketing company. It didn't work out financially like you wanted. Maybe people watching have a similar story out there, right? I think a lot of people have tried some kind of multi-level marketing or direct sales or something, right? Almost everyone's tried something. And a lot of people might have this similar story to the first part of your story, that it just didn't work out, like they weren't getting enough for their time, or however that might be, right? Okay, so you were just staying at home with your girls. So then what opened you up to starting with our company?
Right, right. Well, yeah, by that time, I was at home. I did not go back to my engineering career, and I let go of that other business because it was a different compensation plan, and I'd actually lost my team because when you don't produce
Mm,
enough, it actually falls away, and that
oh,
really broke my confidence. That
mm-hmm,
was the thing. I was like, I feel like I'm doing everything right, but yet this isn't working.
mm-hmm,
I'm just not good at this, right? That was my
mm,
my story. But then we got to a point in our family where we had just moved to our current community. We live in Savannah, Georgia.
mm-hmm,
We've been here a few months. We found a private school that we loved for
mm-hmm,
our girls. And it was amazing. And we're able to, my twins were in preschool. Oldest was in pre-K. We knew as they entered elementary school and the school was going to cost more money. And I didn't want to go back to a job because I knew that would mean compromising my time with them. And I was
mm-hmm,
enjoying being home with them and getting to choose how many
yeah,
days a week they were in school and not. And, my husband started to say, well, I don't know how long we can afford to keep them there. And I wasn't okay with compromising their education either.
mm-hmm.
And that's when I decided to look at, our company. I had actually been a customer for 6 years already of
Oh, okay.
our company, and
Mm-hmm,
I resisted the business because my confidence was shot from that previous experience.
mm-hmm,
And so, but I desired more money so that I would have more choices to keep our girls in the school that we loved for them. And
mm-hmm,
that's what inspired me to really look at the financial piece of our current company and opportunity. And so I went
mm-hmm.
to an event to learn more, and I got to work.
That's awesome. So how did you find, like, as you got into this, what was different about this compensation plan versus what you had experienced before?
There's a lot that is different. I think the main thing is the compensation plan. I wish people
Mm-hmm,
could understand how simple it is to make a true residual income.
mm-hmm,
There's a lot of great companies out there with great cultures and great opportunities and amazing products that can sell themselves. I'm a
mm-hmm,
customer of many of them, but most of them require that you jump through hoops and maintain certain levels and do certain things in
mm-hmm,
order to achieve a true residual income. And with ours, it's as simple as two
mm-hmm,
personally enrolled, you get paid on infinite levels.
mm-hmm.
Like, it's so simple. It's so simple. And so, I mean, I should have had a clue earlier on when, after I'd given years and years of my blood, sweat, and tears to this other company that I
Mm-hmm.
loved. And eventually, I decided to stop working. My residual income from those, I'd say at least 6 years of all in with that other company, was about $50 a month. Well, also around that time, I'd been a product user of our current company. I'd
Mm-hmm.
enrolled two people,
Mm-hmm.
right? My husband and my mom, and then my dad.
Mm-hmm.
And guess what my residual income was from not even putting any work in at that point? About $50 a month, right? That should have been my first
Wow.
clue that, oh,
Mm-hmm.
there's much more abundance here. And so I think
Mm-hmm.
in the network marketing profession, there's a lot of commonalities between companies as far as, the culture and support that you get. I do feel there are some unique things about our company and just the way that we support, and it's one team, and there's not this trying to show off the time we can take off, or show off the houses, or show off the cars, even though people do get to enjoy those things. It's more a culture of contribution and helping other
Mm-hmm.
people in one team, and growing our culture as a company, because we believe in this movement of setting people free from physical and financial pain.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's definitely something you can feel when you go to one of our events and you just get in the room
Mm-hmm.
with the people. Like, just this energy just rises, and that feel like, yeah, we're all in this together on this common mission, this common purpose. And it's like you instantly have a bond with anybody there at the event. Like, after celebration,
Absolutely.
like, we gave a lady a ride home that we literally just met at the airport because we're like, oh, we were both at the conference, and yeah, so automatically I trust you and we have this bond. So it's really incredible how that works, and definitely the personal development side of it. Our company just puts so much intentionality into that and helping people grow as human beings, right? And I know for me, that was one thing I was frustrated in my profession was, you know, we supposedly had like professional development, right? But there wasn't any like personal development. There really wasn't anybody holding me accountable or challenging me to be better. And here there is. You know, there's so many people that are all like cheering you on, supporting you, and challenging you in so many ways. So I want to take a step back here because I don't know if everyone would know, because I definitely didn't know before. But can you like define residual income for us? Like, what does that mean?
Great. So residual income is where you have the opportunity to build something once, put something in place such that you're no longer tied to that time value. As you know, in opposition to that, something that's very familiar to us is going to a job and earning money based on a salary rate or an hourly rate. And we understand that if we want to make more money, it requires more of our time, getting another job, putting in more hours, making more sales even. Like there are even some, you know, some entrepreneurship ventures that are very linear with time. The other side of that is when you invest in something or you grow something or you build something that continues to generate income and wealth for you without having to necessarily continue to put more time. Yeah, you have to touch on it typically, you know, manage it and observe it, but it's not linearly connected to the time that you're putting in.
Okay, awesome. So it's you do the work once, and then as long as you somewhat manage it or stay present, like it continues to pay you long term.
Absolutely.
And like you said, in our company, it's on unlimited levels deep. So it's not just on who you know, it's who you
Yes.
know, who they know, who they know, who they know, forever. Yeah, incredible.
Absolutely. And that's good not only just for, you know, the person who's the business builder, but it's also good for the person coming in. For example, a couple days ago, I was having a three-way call with a team member who, you know, we don't have generations, but if you would, you know, the number of levels of referrals, it would be about the sixth level of generation. And this three-way call was with a new person potentially coming in who had been the seventh level. Well, some compensation plans cut off after 7 levels, which means that, you know, if this were the case in this other compensation plan, if I were to help this person get started, if they would build their business, it wouldn't directly help me, which I can help them out of the goodness of my heart, but I'm not incentivized to do so, which, you know, also hurts that person potentially to feel like, you know, because I invest money in my team, as you do too. I know into incentives and promotions and things to encourage people to build. And so, you know, people to infinite levels get that benefit in our company.
Yeah, it's totally amazing. And it builds that culture because, yeah, it does. It flows all the way up. So you're part of this huge team with so many people. And it's just such a fun culture to have that for sure. Okay, so now
Yeah.
here's where, you know, I'm going to ask you to invite us into like your personal part of the story and why, you know, residual income really has had such a huge impact for your life.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, when I started this business, like I said, it was with the goal of paying for my girls' private school. And it wasn't easy. Just to back up to that time, like it took a lot of work. It wasn't an automatic shift. It took me almost a year and a half to get to the level that I had set out to get to my first 30 days. But I believed so much in this opportunity and that if I just kept going and just kept learning and just kept plugging in, that I could do it. And so as a result, after, you know, working by that time about my first 3.5 years, every single day, very consistently, not constantly, but consistently every single day. And I built a 6-figure income. I more than replaced my engineering income. But it was around that time that, yeah, we had a really challenging situation in our family when one of our girls, who was one of the twins at the age of 5 at the time, at the end of her kindergarten year, was diagnosed with leukemia. And that shook us. That was such a hard experience. However, because I had committed to this and because I'd gone after what was important to me and believed in it and worked hard, this is where that residual income stepped in, because that work I put in up front, I now had this foundation, this leveraged residual income such that I could completely step away from my business for several months to focus completely on her. And I still got paid. In fact, my income did not go down at all. Not go down at all. And so that was so freeing. And then as I was working my way back in, you know, I got to work from anywhere. I got to work from my phone, from my laptop. I could take it to the clinic, to the hospital. and I could do it on my time. That also gave my husband more freedom because he still is working his corporate job. He was then. His corporate job was amazing, and we're very thankful for that. And they gave him a lot of the time off that he needed, but a lot of that time was unpaid. They held his job, but he took off as much as he needed, but it was unpaid.
Yeah.
But because I was still getting paid through this residual vehicle, it gave him also that freedom to not have to worry about finances and take off the time that he needed so that we could switch off our times in the hospital and be with our daughter.
That's totally amazing. Yeah. And I just love like seeing, who's my daughter? Okay. Yeah, just that heart that you have for your family. And yeah, what an incredible blessing that, you know, like you were so inspired and motivated by that, you know, the best education for your daughters that you know, you started this and you built it consistently. And then, you know, it's okay. And then God just showed you like an even bigger reason for why you were doing it and why he had you there.
Absolutely. Because, you know, it was a private Christian school that we were working towards. And a lot of it was hard because in having you hold your sweet daughter there reminds me of so many times. For example, I was doing a 3-way call and I had 2-year-old twins at home. And, you know, we were potty training and there were accidents during the calls and there were interruptions like in this moment. And it's like you just worked through it. And because I did that, and I was still able to be present with them, but because I built it, I was able to be there for my family when it was most important. And even beyond, you know, the what ifs of the worst case scenarios that happen, just to clarify, my daughter is doing well today. She's fine. We're very thankful for where she's at today. Right. But besides the what ifs, I mean, what this company offers is the chance to live in total alignment with your values. You know, like I love, my career was great in corporate, but it was taking time away from the things that are most important to me. Now I get to choose how much time I spend with my family, and I have the option to send them to the best school and hire the best sitters when, you know, there are other things that take us away. But every day I get to make that choice. Nobody else is making that choice for me. I get to travel still, but it's by choice. It's when I choose. And sometimes it's by myself, sometimes with my family, sometimes it's just with my spouse. But it's that lifestyle of choice that I have in alignment with my goals and my family because I worked hard, you know, with my girls at home, that now we have more choices in our life.
Oh, incredible. So would you say that like you've been able to do this because, you know, maybe you have some special abilities, or like, do you really think like, can anybody really do this?
That's a great question. You know, I think something that I hear occasionally is that, you know, people say, well, no wonder you're so successful. You're so good at this. And people perceive, excuse me, that I think that I have some sort of special ability. But what they don't see is where I started. That, just like you were saying, this is a personal development journey. And when I started, you know, I made a list of people who I felt would be amazing at this career or that would be interested in the products. And I called them all, and most of them ignored me or said no, right? Of my first 30, I had one yes. And that one yes returned her products. Like there was nothing special about what I was doing. Obviously, if I go get 1 out of 30 and I actually turn into 0 out of 30. But I knew, again, that this was personal development and this was a skills-based business that I could grow, you know, my skills and ability. I had people like literally walking away from me when I tried to talk with them. I was horrible in the beginning. Like there's nothing special about the skills inside of me besides just me being uniquely me. And I think that's what this profession is so great at, is that there's nothing that you require to have you coming into this. And the way you get rewarded is becoming the most authentic version of yourself. I think the event that you and I went to a couple weekends ago was the best example of this. There's all different personality types, all different backgrounds, all different education levels. I mean, so diverse, different ages, everything. But the one thing in common that we all were working towards was being our most authentic selves, right? With the different personalities in the room, we all honor that. And there was success in every category of personalities. And so I feel like the most important thing to determine somebody's success in this is simply their hunger for it, their hunger for more choice for their families, because then you can figure out a way. There's no other limiting factor out there. It's just the people who want it are going to go out and find a way.
Oh, exactly. No, I love that. It's being able to have that vision, and our company provides that. You know, they show us the examples. Like we get to see the people that have done it and see their success and see their heart. Like that's what I love about this company. Like the leaders all just like, you can see how they just want to pour their heart out into all of us and help us get to where they are. You know, there's not this like, oh, we're at the top and we make all the money and you're all the little peanut. It's just not like that. It's like, we want to elevate everybody and raise them, you know, to that level to have that freedom. So you can come, you can see the vision, you can see what's possible. And yeah, the only thing that would stop you is you, as long as you can believe in that and decide to go after it and be consistent in it, you can achieve it. And I love how you said me being uniquely me. So it's like, hey, we're all uniquely ourselves. The more we can just get in touch with that and be true to who we are. Skills are learnable, and we have the tracks to run on. We have the most incredible training within our company. And so, yeah, it's all right there. So I love how you said that. That was beautiful.
Thank you. Thank you. I think it's so true. And I love what you resonated about the culture that we have here. And I think there are times when maybe I didn't realize it or took it for granted, but you know, there was experience recently where I was chatting with some leaders in a different company. It's another amazing company, but they were trying to share that, you know, the compensation plan with me, and you know, there are things about it that I didn't like, but what I wanted to point out was the culture. And I remember there was a top leader on the call who was making comments about, oh, you know, he didn't have to have a meet. This was like the first time he had a meeting this early in the day, and it was something like 10 a.m. or something. So, you know, I just come from 6 hours in one direction in Italy, and a few weeks before that I'd been 6 hours the other direction, Hawaii. So I'm thinking, oh, he must be in a different time zone. But no, he was just trying to point out that, oh, he's a top leader, so he doesn't have to work. And it threw me for a loop, because I realized reflecting later why it didn't hit me right away, or I felt kind of silly, like not catching on to what he was trying to say. It's because our culture in our company is so different. Like I work with people who make 10 times as much, like in our own uplines, right? And they would never say something like that or try to portray that they don't have to work. In fact, they don't have to work. They don't, like, they have millions of dollars a year residual, but their culture, the culture, like you were just saying, is such that they want to help and raise people up. Everyone is in this to raise each other up. All the leaders help us. And I think when you're around people like that in community who themselves are in a growth culture, it just rubs up on everyone. And we all are on this journey of becoming the best versions of ourselves. And that's where the success comes. The people who have made it at the top are always reaching down to help more people come up.
Exactly. Because yeah, you can't make it to the top without truly desiring to serve people and actually being a servant leader. Yeah, exactly. Which is amazing. Oh, so good. So good. I've loved this. So what would you say to someone out there who's been watching and this has really resonated with them, and they can see, you know, where you're at and what you're doing and, you know, where I'm going, and they desire it? What would you say, you know, is the next step for them?
Oh, absolutely. The next step is simply to try the products, to open your wholesale account. Reach out to Michelle, if you're in her network, or myself, or whoever's sharing this video with you. Open your wholesale account. Try the products. By opening your account, that is your business center. And then you can follow the simple steps that we have in place to help you authentically grow yourself and share this business opportunity and these amazing products that are so life transforming.
Absolutely. All right. I'm feeling excited.
Yes, me too.
All right, cool. Any closing thoughts?
No, I just appreciate you. I want to honor you, Michelle. I think that, you know, meeting you at this past event was so encouraging for me, as we are in this culture, just seeing people who are hungry and who are thriving and growing and stretching ourselves out of our comfort zone. You are amazing. And I'm so excited to have the chance to be on this Facebook Live with you.
Oh, thank you. I'm so grateful for you. And it's just amazing how our culture works, just because, like, you know, I saw you on stage and I saw you doing the training. You're just doing an incredible job. And I can see, come here, honey. I can just see like the love and the spirit radiating from you. And I just prayed, you know, like, God, I would love a conversation with her, you know, and it just happened, you know, so naturally. And you really helped me move forward and grow my confidence and my belief in myself. So I'm just so grateful for that. And yeah, you're amazing. So thank you so much for doing this interview today. It's been so great. And yeah, for all you guys watching, if you found value in this, you know, we'd love it. Just comment below what resonated with you, like it, share it. And yeah, for sure, get in touch with us, because we want to hear where you're at and see how we could help you, whether, you know, that's going to be in our company or not. We're here to help and to serve. So can you say bye-bye?
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
All right.
Such
See
a
ya.
sweetheart. Thanks so much,
Yeah.
Michelle. Bye,
Thank you.
everybody.
Bye.